what Darwin is saying is actually something that does happen consistently, especially on social media. You hear it time and time again, especially from men. Well, you ain't ish, none of da 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 da. He was not short of shooting me the insults that he was shooting me. Boom, 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 back to back. When I stepped out of my feminine, hold on, please. When I stepped out of my femininity and I had to become aggressive so that I can have a conversation with him because he was overpowering and interrupting. And then that's when he began to say, oh, well, you're not this, da, 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 da. So then I had to step out of my femininity, address him accordingly. And then that whole conversation went the way that it went.
So hold on, Naomi, hold on.
Hold on, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Please allow me to finish. So this is all that I'm saying. I'm not saying, for one, if people know me, if you know me and know the kind of woman that I am, I believe in the hierarchy of God, man, woman, child. 100%.
No, you don't.
I speak on it. I speak on it consistently. I speak on the submission of a woman and how men are not supposed to submit to women consistently. Because according to the word of God, women are commanded to submit to men. Men are commanded to love their wives. Now, there's a whole, like, I speak on this consistently. The thing is, though, when things like this happen, like the conversation that happened between me and the guy underneath me, I will automatically be shamed to say, well, no, da 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 da. Women are this, women are that, women are this, women are that. Well, what tends to happen is that when men are having conversations with us, and then we're like, hey, you know what? Or hey, you know what? I'm just not interested. Well, men turn around and they'll be like, well, you ain't ish anyways, da 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 da, blah 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 blah. And it literally happens within a matter of weeks. Like,
that's not what happened though.
Hold on, Jay, I got you, Jay. Look, so
no, I just want to say real quick.
It's not fair what you're doing to you.
Told her that these two women said you wasn't attracted, you weren't groomed, which is shade, right? Which is the same smoke. So only thing I did was said, run my shade. I didn't come up here and try to date Naomi or Miss Bo, right? But you try to leverage just because you wanted me to feel bad about myself because these two Pacific women didn't find me interest, as if I wanted their interest, right? Okay, and so you try to leverage that. That's all what happened.
The only reason,
real quick, because
I ended up doing what I did and moved the way that I moved is because I was matching your energy. You were very rude and interrupting consistently. And every time I tried to speak and complete that thought, men always say that women are supposed to constantly rest in our femininity and softness. There was no way I was going to be able to have a conversation with you resting in my true femininity because of the fact of your overpowering masculinity and your rudeness.
So why did you support Bruiser? Why did you support? And this is what I mean. Y'all will pick what benefits you. You didn't get on Bruiser for continuously interrupting me and not letting me talk and going on monologues. This is what when y'all will support you will support a man when it's convenient for you, and you will leave a man when it's convenient.
Caliber of man.
And see what he's doing right now. See what I'm talking. See what he's doing.
Allow me to elaborate.
Bruiser literally will not let me talk right now.
So allow me to elaborate why. The reason why I didn't address there's things that I don't agree with on Bruiser. 100%.
No. I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you that.
Right now, so give me. Damn. Where'd he go?
He'll be back.
So the reason why I didn't interrupt, the reason why I didn't tell Bruiser stop interrupting him, according to the conversation he has with you, is because I've seen you on the panel go back and forth with him. You have no issue checking Bruiser. You have no issue saying, hey, don't interrupt me. Y'all have y'all's own monologue that continues. If I'm standing by myself, which is in this conversation, I had to, if I'm having a conversation with you, I can 100% rest in my femininity because you're honorable. You have the similar characteristics to Bruiser. I don't agree with some things that you have, but I don't have to worry about you calling me out of my name. I don't have to worry about you being disrespectful. You tend to allow people to finish their thought. I've seen you on your podcast before, so I don't have to worry about me not being able to speak. There's a difference between me being able to rest in my femininity around you, Ali, and then allowing you to be the man that you are with Bruiser and interact in that exchange. That's where this is where I believe that men have conversations with men. The conversation that I was having with that gentleman, I can't be feminine. Because if I'm feminine, he will overpower me and overtake me and be completely disrespectful to me.
Naomi, the one thing that I gotta say real quick
I
is
started off talking to the men.
JP, don't the revisionist history part. You know, JP's energy was that way towards you because you did inexplicably, unprovoked, you did mention that you wouldn't date him. And I think that's a shot, and anybody would have the right to and would feel like, yo, you wouldn't date me. Like, shorty, I didn't ask you. I didn't even ask you that. Like, type of anybody would feel a certain type of way if somebody said that to them. So that maybe, and that's what I believe is why you got that energy from him.
So
I came in talking to the men now.
Real dope. I concede to what you're saying. Although this man has been in the live previously and has joined the live previously where I have been on, where he knows that one, I'm a single mom. So when he came up with the energy that he was saying and the things that he was saying, the way that he was saying, and even to the point of him saying how women, the examples that he was using, about women making so much more money and this, that, whatever. That's what I addressed initially first. And then that's when all of that started. But I do it here.
Hang on real quick. Let me say something. I'm gonna pass it right back to you, Naomi. What y'all can't do to the woman is build a theme of questioning on answering the women on the panel. Who would they date? Who is their preference? Who would they like? Who values what they replace with another? And then whenever she start looking around on the panel, she can't tell you who she wouldn't date on the panel. You can't have it both ways. You can't build a theme on nitpicking and trying to figure out what their preference is based on a man. And then when she having a communication experience with a man on the panel, she don't get to say that whether or not she would date him or not. You can't have it.
That's cool. Hold on. Hey, dope boy.
Wait. Let me land.
How long you think you land?
You can't put her in that energy and that theme, and then don't expect her to look at the guys around her to also give you little insight or intellect based on her selection process, based on the behavior that she's being able to see.
Doing a divide.
Hold on. So Darwin, I'm gonna come right back to my question. You're not about to run away and deflect by using everybody else. How would you get Naomi to like Jay Prince?
First of all, I wouldn't get Naomi to like Jay Prince, but I will tell you this. I'm a slick motherfucker, and I'm all about outcomes. If Jay Prince came to me and said, hey, look, you know what? I really like Naomi, and I want.
Okay, here we go.
I want that. I want that.
Okay.
What I would do is I would hit Naomi up offline. I was like, you know what? I know you don't find Jay Prince attractive. I know he's not your cup of tea. What would it take for him to go out on a date with you and get the buzz? She probably would throw some shit up like, you know what? I don't like him, but niggas that I don't like, I charge them niggas $1,500. I will go back to Jay Prince and I say, look, do you really want to have a moment with Naomi? I'm like, yes, man. Tell me what I got to do. Well, you need to ante the fuck up.
Here you go with this money pill bullshit.
So you a coach that don't change the men to get different outcomes. You have to actually talk to the women to get the actual outcomes for the men. That's what you're saying. You got to talk to Naomi to like Jay Prince. He can't talk to her to make him like him.
What I just did
was talk to Naomi and put some interference in so she may like Jay Prince.
Or are you gonna talk to me?
Oh yes, because you can't even translate your own words.
Okay, what I just did was I just showcased how I went into the market to see what the requirement was for this type of archetype or this type of man. I went to the market. Naomi is the actual market in this case. I went to the market and inquired. What are they for the guys that actually don't like? How do they raise the goal? How do they move the goalposts? Or what is the criteria or the degree of entry for this guy to access this particular woman that doesn't naturally like this dude? And what I did was I showcased a way where I would go into the market. It doesn't mean I got to go talk to Naomi. I could just go study the numbers. And I could tell you
stop. You just said you'd have to go talk to her. Stop changing it. You can
repackage I used the case with Naomi, me going to inquire directly with Naomi as a metaphor, a comparison to me going to the market using numbers. using math to say, okay, look, based on the numbers, based on the probability, based on what's actually going on in the market, guys like Jay Prince have to pay for women like Naomi. And I will report back to him like, hey, look,
you know what?
For these type of women that you want, you got to pay, or you got to wear designer, you got to wear jewelry or some shit so you can be more marketable and more attractive.
So you want me to tell you?
I don't make the rules. I go in the market and I figure out what's working and what's not working. And I will go back to Jay Prince and say, well, look, the shit you doing ain't working. You don't have the charm. You don't have the jawline. You don't have the finish. You're going to have to ante the fuck up.
Right.
Hey, Ali, let me say this right quick, Ali. May I say this? I think the reason, what really transpired in this conversation when I first came up, I literally came up talking to the men in general. The women had an issue because I said I gave up disqualifiers that they are foreign to listening to, right? When I brought up that women that cannot reproduce don't qualify. And I see the offensiveness went through that. So matter of fact, Ms. Bo spoke up and I started noticing their energy change because now us men can leverage their qualities, right? So if women cannot reproduce, if women not beautiful, and women don't have energies what men seek at the women, they don't qualify. But these women feel entitled because us men, like what Bruce is doing, never put them to task where they have to earn our wants. This is why I believe that I'm starting to believe that we've been misled to believe that we had to chase women. Why? I have never seen an employer go out and chase employees. I consider women to be the employees and we are the employers. If they saying that we got to provide, protect, and produce, we doing everything that an employer do, not an employee. So you trying to put us in a submissive position as men to be the employee while the woman that don't give us shit to be the employer. What are we going to gain for getting on our knees, bowing down to a woman that don't got nothing to offer? She don't got no fertility. She don't got no the energies that we want. And some of them within their spirits, if they don't got the energies, gonna make them not beautiful because they're gonna look uglier.
Why
right?
would you go after her then?
So no, but what I'm saying is this is so misleading to men, and this is why men is failing of finding mates because people have always told us to acquiesce to women and make them give women all of this power. This is the reason why these women up here feel like, and what she basically doing in the conversation is divide and conquer. She trying to leverage all of the men to piss me off because based on what I had said, that women don't qualify, they can't reproduce, which I still stand on, right? If you're not beautiful, you don't qualify. If you don't have the energies that men desire, peace, feminine, nurture. Listening to Naomi, I can understand why she's divorced, right? She did not rest in her femininity. If you would do this to a man that you just met for 10 minutes, what that would look like for your husband with kids that you've been knowing all your life. You are a very argumentative baby mama. You are for the streets. You already said that you a fuck future, a ghetto thug nigga. So you are a outer race ratchet woman, ma'am. Your husband, and if any man get with you, you will not only be a second marriage, right? As a woman, but they will be marrying a baby mama, a wretched, loud mouth Chinese baby mama.
See, I don't think she's Chinese.
What is
Are you too? She do look Asian.
So if I now
she's not at all. God,
baby. What color are you, Naomi?
Now let me respond. Here's the thing.